Chris, you had story.
Wow, you jumped to that quick. Right, I just want to bring people up, right? I came over, and he...
No, don't give him bastard. No.
I think it's important because you like jumped like, right, you have story, and then it was like, he had a story? What? I came over, and I was super excited to tell Pete about a story that happened to me at a place where I work, and Pete, not wanting to miss the opportunity
for fucking comedy, go dodge crane. Oh shit!
I'm trying to figure the buttons out again. I haven't played this in ages. Cool. Anyway, right. So I can't concentrate. This
okay, hang on.
Start again.
You drop out and tell the story. I'll fight the boss.
Okay, how do I drop out?
Right, okay. Tell me the story about your work day.
Okay. So it was just like any other day. I went to work. Everything was fine.
At the brothel. Sorry. Okay, go. You went to work.
Okay. For obvious reasons, I can't really be telling everyone where I work.
But like, just for context, groundskeeper. So think the Scottish man from The Simpsons. And
yeah,
that's Chris.
I literally am the groundsman / caretaker of a school. Okay, that's what I do.
That's all you need to know.
Okay. So I guess more shocking as to why I keep like these crazy stories keep happening.
This is like what, the 6th story you've told me from where now? This is the only one that we can share with you, isn't it? Because like they're so bad that we'd have lawsuits up the ass. What the?
I'm really shocked that such a place can even exist, let alone be a school. Anywho, so I went to work. Normal day. Went down to the tractor yard. Because the site that we work on, we have to have tractors and stuff. So it's quite a large site. Now, it's to give you a bit more insight to the school. It's quite an old school. It isn't like a modern day kind of clean building. It's literally like a small Hogwarts. The building.
Only if Hogwarts was really cheap.
Yeah, and really small compared to Hogwarts, but like. The building's like 150 years old, and the grounds that we're on are like over 300 years old. So you can imagine sometimes we just come across things that are just not acceptable to be in a school nowadays. Like my discovery of today. Now I took over from a previous caretaker. This is about 1.5 years ago now.
He knew too much, so they bumped him off.
Yeah, he got chopped really quickly once I got the job. Like he was a great guy and everything like that, but
he knew too much.
Keeping inside the old caretaker to sort out because we have massive woodlands where we are. To cut down a branch which was overhanging one of the roads, one of the drives. He decided to constantly fire shotgun shells at it until it eventually fall down.
What the fuck? What? You never told me that.
Hey, honestly, if I was to tell you everything that happened at that school, I would be here for ages.
Okay. So what's the main selling point today? Is the question.
We were cleaning out some of the old containers. Now we've got quite a few scattered all over the site. Most of them we know what's in them. Some of them we still don't know what's in them. Some of them have locks on
the bodies of the previous groundskeepers.
Well, to be fair, I went in the slightly. I know I keep going off on tangents.
It's
now,
cool,
but
it's our show.
I had to go up into one of the loft spaces, and on the second floor, it's a really complicated building to explain, but basically I had to go in like this little loft section. You have to crawl in a little hatch that's on the wall. You have to get like a ladder, climb through the wall, drop down on the other side carefully, and there's no light in there. It's just you have to get a torch out, and then you sort of go around, and basically there's this massive old chimney breast. The actual chimney itself is all boarded up, but it got like the chimney breast there. And if you go around the side to it, there's the like that's air conditioning unit thing for one of the fridges they have. Being a school, obviously we've got quite big freezer boxes things.
Well, yeah, for the canteen.
Yeah. Well, I had to go in there, and I had to take an engineer with me who came over to fix the air conditioning unit.
Okay.
I found the skeleton of a dog.
What?
Well, he was.
No, hang on. You can't just drop that.
No.
When you say you found the skeleton, what, like bleached white?
No. I went in there with him. She got the torch out. Obviously, it's really dark and it's really dirty and like cobwebs. You can imagine the scenario: 150-year-old school, going through a loft that's never really been cleaned. He's fixing the air conditioning. I went through another little hatch, which I found, and I was like, well, while I'm here, I might as well go discover. I went into another section of the roof, found some old boxes and stuff full of like old books and stuff like that, which I thought were quite fascinating. They were like just textbooks.
And then you looked in some more boxes and then you found the cat it was chasing.
And then I kid you not, in the corner because there was a sheet, I lifted the sheet, and there was the skeleton of a dead dog with fluff still.
What?
Kind of, sort of, remaining.
How old would you say it probably was from looking?
There was no tissue left.
Oh God!
It was just skeleton and bits of fluff. Like that's all I can really describe it as. Bear in mind, it's pitch black, and I'm looking through a torch, and through my shock, I kind of wanted to get out. To be honest, I wasn't very comfortable in there, and I left.
Science side of the YouTube comments, if anyone wants to help us date that skeleton from Chris's vague description alone, please help us.
So so there was like a sort of a taster of kind of what it's like in that school. It's a maze. Like I said, 150-year-old school.
It's a maze, but the prize is skeletons.
I was going through one of the containers, clearing it out, and I was finding up all sorts of stuff. And then there was two black drawers, like like the old metal filing cabinet kind of drawers.
Yeah.
Clearly, they were once part of one giant sort of stack of 4 drawers, but they were like 2 side by side. Me and one of the other groundsmen, we moved some rubbish out of the way, some boxes, some old doors that used to be like on the building, and we were curious what was in the drawers. Now bear in mind, this is a container that it's one of those containers that isn't locked. Anyone can go inside.
Okay.
It's just full of crap and stuff that's been just chucked in there. We opened the first drawer because we were like, cool, there's a weight on these drawers. We opened one in excitement, hoping to find tools. That was actually the original aim of this, was just to find some more spanners and screwdrivers and stuff. We opened up the first
found someone's fucking cat.
I found a red tub full of sand. And I was like, we were both a bit like,
oh. You're like, well, we've wandered into the lair of serial killer.
But wait, there was little tubs next to it. Now, me being me, I just assumed there was like PVA glue and stuff like that. It's kind of what I've come to expect from the school, which is kind of naive.
PVA glue,
right?
PVA glue. I'm sorry, that's PVA glue.
I know. Like
how abysmal is your expectations that the first thing you jumped to was PVA glue?
Well, there was like old printer cartridges and like dried up glue and paint in there and stuff like that, so I just assumed. We then opened up a couple of the other drawers. They were empty.
Okay.
The last drawer we opened, literally we were shocked.
Okay.
We found all sorts of weird powders. And we were looking.
When you say weird powders,
I'm not brilliant at science and chemicals and stuff like that, but after my colleague googled a lot of these things, right, it just so happens to be the kind of stuff you need if you want to make yourself some explosives.
Fuck.
And we're not talking like tiny little jars here.
We're talking like C4.
Like no, we're talking like big tubs of this, just mixing powders and stuff. You mean like
the end of Fight Club? You ever seen that one where he's got like all the bombs in the back of a van?
I never watched Fight Club.
Oh, he's got like you know those buckets that you mix cement in? Those big ones with the handles?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like a load of those in the back of a van and each one's a bomb. Do you mean like that?
Like I said, this all fit in one drawer. These are just like little jars. Okay, well, I say little in scale of a bucket. But these are like big jars. These aren't just like your Dormio jars, if you more like jam jars.
When's he got a Dormio day? I'm not having it. It's been cancelled by the bomb.
These are large jars.
What are you going to give you Dormio? You can't do a fuse. I've rigged the bit.
The kind of stuff that was written on these jars were like warning, do not open unless you're a professional, and like these are really hazardous to health.
The other jar just said, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
But there was like cardboard boxes with like white powder in them and like little spoons, and like nothing was like.
And at some point you just realised, oh my god, the school's attic has a meth lab.
Well, that wasn't the scariest thing we came across. That was just like really fucking
worse.
Yes. The worst part was then, in and amongst all these, we found a locked little box. Okay, it was like a gold money box that you get in, like, if you go to a car boot or something.
Please tell me that this ends with, like, a severed hand or
No,
something.
I wish it, to me that would be cool. Well, that would be really fucking freaky, to be honest.
And then we found the layer of the cereal.
No,
go on.
What we come across, right, was, because we couldn't find a key to this, that we ended up talking to the maintenance guy, and he was super excited to find out what's in the box, because he came across, you see, so all three of us were rummaging through like all these really dangerous chemicals and stuff like that we were like, why the fuck, can we swear?
Yeah.
Why the fuck have I got all these in my, like, can I just point out as well, this is actually my container as well. Like, this is going to sound really stupid, but the previous caretaker actually gave me the key to this particular container.
Okay, he's like, Chris, one of these days you'll hate your job as much as I did. Say the fucking ingredients to the bombs!
But I'm the only one with a key to it. This is why we were cleaning it out. So even though I've been there like a year and a half, I've been doing lots of other stuff. This was like,
we need to clean it out. He was linked to Al Qaeda.
It was only today we decided to clear it out and like use it for a workspace and try and find some tools. And then we're like, oh my god, what is all these like powders? And then we found out that was what the sand tub was for, because we found instructions on paper. Fucking
instructions!
Yeah, we have instructions, so we can pull out the paper, we can read kind of what we need to mix and what kind of formula. It's like all just handwritten as well. It's just like scruffy there. Like, this is what we do, and like we were like looking into this kind of stuff.
Okay.
Like we like really serious stuff. Like we could really like blow up the school.
People can never find out what school you work at. I'm gonna have to edit out so much of this in post.
So,
I killed the boss, by the way.
Oh, well done.
Keep going.
So like, after we found all this, the maintenance guy was like, I know, because he decided to tell us a story about how he used to work as a sort of a locksmith kind of person who'd like go in and replace and fix locks for people's houses. Mm-hmm. He went on a course on how to actually break locks and stuff, which was kind of ironic because we had lockbox. Anyway, so he took it, and we thought he'd have like a little lock picking thing. No, he just got a fucking drill, just powered into this thing. He got a hammer and a screwdriver. He's just beating the crap out of it. I'm really panicking at this point because I'm like, we literally got this out of a drawer with chemicals that we can make bombs with, and you're smashing it with a hammer and a screwdriver and like hitting it with a drill. Like, is this the wisest thing to do? Anyway, we opened it up, and there were these red, not red. They were these like little silver metal containers with red labels on them, with like a cork really tightly wedged on them, and there was 3 of them in there. Okay, and we were reading the chemical list on this stuff, and even though on the bottle, on the metal sort of containers, they were sort of classed as rabbit and mole poison.
What?
But like, example, the first warning, it says, warning, open with care, sudden contact with oxygen may cause contacts to
explode,
to ignite.
Fuck!
And we were like, let's not open these because like these are quite old by the looks of these things, and like none of us are trained or like know what we're doing, and I think what I'll do,
when
Pete,
was that stuff cheap before? None of us.
This is true, but what I'll do, Pete, like just maybe for next time, I will take pictures of this stuff.
Oh, excellent!
And I will show you, so then at least you'll like see what I see. Excellent. You won't be able to see the red tubs that we found in the metal box, because after that we had to then relock that box because we felt this kind of stuff shouldn't be in the hands of anybody. So
a wise choice.
Thanks to our maintenance man and his lock-picking skills,
we can't lock it.
Fucking lock left. So I just had to use a ton of duct tape.
Oh yeah, that'll keep Al Qaeda at bay. Just duct tape it.
So I just used a load of duct tape, and I just put a bit more duct tape on there and just put "Do not open." And I'm hoping I'm covered, but just in case, yeah. Fuck it, it's not my problem, hopefully. By the time that happens.
Fuck it, it's not my problem.
Well, there's nothing else I can really say to it, to be honest. It was like the shock of finding materials.
The shock of finding Al Qaeda's hidden room
to make
at the back of your school.
But then we go into another container, like that we also left on. We call it room 101 because it's full of like lead paint and all sorts of other crap. We also found, by accident, that again we have to go in with like a torch because it was dark, and it wasn't like as dark as like the loft kind of story, but you know there's no light, it's kind of in the trees. And anyway, I kicked something by accident on the floor,
okay,
and then we heard like lots of like noise come from underneath one of the, because like there's drawers in there, just random old like drawers, and they're just full of all sorts of crap. We looked under one of the drawers, and it was just, there was like a shit ton of keys, and we were like bear in mind we've just found like all this chemicals, and we found the keys. One of the keys
was to the box that he smashed open.
No, one of the keys was to the front door of the school. So, like, because we got a lot of these keys and a lot of them were labelled. One of them said front door, and I took that one and I went to go try the front door to the school. And yeah, if you want, well, like, you make sure like we edit a lot of this.
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
I got that key. I literally just went to the front door and I just locked it, and I was like, huh. And I unlocked it again, and then I just let myself in.
This turning into one of those horror films where there's like, you know, the Japanese woman who's living under the guy's oven, and then it turns out she comes out when he's out. Like, someone's broken into your school and got all the keys. He comes out in summer to feast upon the dead dog.
Why?
And then it turns out it's Gary Glitter.
But take this from my point of view, okay?
Okay.
All in one day, I find the materials to make explosives. I find instructions. I find keys to get access to the school.
Yeah.
Whenever you want. We didn't even know these keys existed. Okay. Right. Like, we have these keys, but we found more of these keys that we didn't know, and they're all labelled. So it's not like you pick up a key and go, oh, I don't know what that'll do. Like, you pick up this key and it clearly says it will open the fucking front door next to the container that just so happens to have all the chemicals to make explosives.
And you're like, who the fuck's been here?
And I'm doing my best to go, because like, we know the previous caretaker was a bit of a hoarder. Basically, he would find anything of interest and just hold on to it. Like, while we were cleaning out the containers, we found a massive pile of lead. So old lead pipe,
preparing for the nuclear war.
Like, it was awesome because it's got value. You know, like, we can try and get a shot of it and then buy some tools that we need, but it was the fact that we just so happened to find all this stuff in, like, at the same time, and I'm trying to go like, okay, maybe it's just a complete coincidence that we just so happened today find explosives and keys, but
not like
it's the fact is that they were right next to each other, and I kind of know, like, the previous caretaker was a little crazy. Like, I say a little crazy, like, there were times apparently, like, they couldn't make him go home. Like,
what the fuck? Okay.
Like, he would stay at the school. Like, people do live there, like, at the school.
Oh, okay. But like, he wasn't supposed to be one of them, though.
No, he doesn't have a house. He just chooses to stay, and he'd come in on the weekends as well. Like, he had a wife and kids. He just chose not to leave the school.
Okay.
And like, when I first got to the school, one of the things he showed me, which was fairly fond of, bear in mind, like, his office used to be in the basement, in like a dead end little area.
Chris!
I went in.
Chris, are you sure that you've actually got a real job and you didn't just accidentally inherit the mantle of a fucking serial killer?
It's a genuine job.
I don't think that was the real groundskeeper though. This is like a fucking M. Night Shyamalan film where it turns out the real groundskeeper died years ago and it was a serial killer walking around with his ID, and that's who you got the job from.
That could be, because even when they told him, like, you know, he has to retire now, he still kept coming in unpaid. Like he kept coming in, and it was kind of awkward because he was kind of a nice guy, so it was just odd and uncomfortable.
Fucking brilliant.
So, like, don't get me wrong, he was a nice guy, but
there was some fucked up shit going on.
Oh yeah, that was it. I went to the basement into his office, right? I went in first, realised it was a dead end. He came in like after me and decided to show his collection of sharp tools.
I can't play the
game. like he had one particular one that he was impressed with, which was like a meter long stick with a massive fucking blade on the ends, and I was
mean a spear?
Kind of like a spear, is just like a pointy edge. This was like half a fucking sword, man.
Okay.
And it was razor sharp. Like, he showed me, like, he just like grind it on the edge of like his bookcase, and literally he was just like shaving off the wood. And I'm like, why have you got that in a school? Like, what purpose does that have? I'm totally lost by that. Like,
okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I was lost for words. The whole place is incredibly uncomfortable. The more I work there, the more I find. But as much as I don't like it there, I also love it there because I've never known, like, walking through the woods one day. Why the hell is there the remains? Like, it's literally just the leg of a deer hanging on a tree. On the junction in the woodland path, and on my own.
Are you actually working at a real school? Because, like, from what you described to me, it sounds like you're working on the set to a fucking Slenderman video.
I promise you, it's a school.